back in 2010, around April 2010, I was admitted in Kaiser Sand Canyon in Irvine, and because I had very strong headaches and I have a hip pain, and there was no pain medicine that would stop it, and I wasn't sure what was going on. So my wife at midnight, he took me in and he said, "We're going to the emergency room," and so we went in on April 4th. And for 45 days, they couldn't diagnose me. They were pumping drugs on me, and so eventually they took me to Lakeview, Anaheim, Lakeview, Kaiser, and they did a craniotomy. I have a little, they cut basically part of my skull here to get some brain cells, and that's how they discovered I have CNS lymphoma, which is central nervous system lymphoma. They couldn't find it. They did MRIs, all kinds of things, and they couldn't find what was wrong. Because usually, if you have cancer, they can see a tumor. And then if you see a tumor, then boom, you see right away, there's something wrong. But they couldn't figure it out with me. They did spinal taps, they did all kinds of, any test that you can think of, they did. So everything was inconclusive or undiagnostic. So finally they diagnosed me with CNS lymphoma in Anaheim, and that was in the middle of May. And short after they discovered it, they started chemotherapy. And I went through 17 rounds of chemotherapy, which ended in June of 2011. And at that point I was considering remission until February this year, February 3rd to be precise. I was trying to get out of bed. I had these pains on my back and I wasn't sure what it was. Very strong pain. So I tried to get off bed one day, and at that February 3rd on a Friday, and I told my wife that she just came from dropping the kids from school, and I said, "Honey, I can't get out of the bed." And she said, "Why? Is the pain?" And I said, "No, I can't balance on my feet." So I was trying to balance on my feet. I couldn't keep my balance. It was a scary moment. So February 3rd, she took me into the emergency room in Lakeview, and I was due for an MRI of the brain anyway because I had a follow-up with my oncologist anyway that month. And but since I was feeling so bad, they took me in and they did an MRI of the brain and the whole spine. So I was there for like 2 hours in a tube, trying to taking pictures and such. And they discovered a tumor on my spine. There was a tumor on the thoracic area, and the T10 they call it, and it was actually crashing. It actually crashed my vertebra, my 10th vertebra, and it was wrapping around the spine, and that's why it wasn't letting me walk, because it was the signal went to the head. It couldn't get as far to the legs because it got stuck in the middle. So right away they applied steroids, and that reduced the swelling of the tumor. And like a couple hours later, I was feeling the pain level went really down to almost nothing. And so soon after they started radiation treatment, and I got 10 radiation treatments. And after that they said, "Well, we're gonna do radiation to zap the tumor." And usually what happens is the tumor melts and it disappears. It kind of cleans away by the the body cleans it out. But then there's always something there. There's a lymphoma basically that came back. That's what it was the same type of lymphoma that came back. They figured out, which is a good thing in a sense because they know if it's a different type of cancer, then they say harder to treat. So in my case, what they're gonna do now, they're gonna do chemotherapy, and I'm gonna start on next Wednesday. I'm gonna go back to the hospital and do chemotherapy.